When it comes to groups, members can fit into a variety of categories. Some of these are positive and helpful, while others are negative and hold the group back. We're going to cover some of those roles as well as some of the positive and negative behaviors that are associated with them. But first, my name is Keegan. I have a master's degree in counseling and I make videos like this to help you better understand psychology, counseling, and mental health. To begin, let's look at the positive and negative roles and areas group members can fit into. We're going to go over these in more detail, but on the helpful and more positive end are roles that fit into the maintenance and task-related behaviors. On the other end, where the roles tend to be more negative, are the self-centered and unproductive roles. If a group is more healthy and running more smoothly, the group members will tend to be more flexible and be able to more easily move in and out of roles as needed. When you think about this, it makes sense. The idea of a group is for group members to often work toward change. If the group members had no flexibility in their roles, they would not be changing. Instead, for a group that's changing, as the group shifts, their roles may change, and this can then be seen as progress as the group progresses. Let's look at the positive category and highlight 4 roles that are within the task roles area. As I mentioned, these are considered to be positive roles, and they will often help with the group defining goals and facilitating problem solving. The task leader is the first of the roles that fits into this category. They are seen to have a high status position within the group and an elevated level of maturity. They might contribute to problem solving and have leadership skills that they can bring into the group or be able to provide information that is helpful. Expeditor is the second of the task roles. These people often help keep the group on track and be able to monitor progress. This might come up as they help people with things like keeping an agenda or generally assessing the progress toward goals that the group has. These people often have a good sense of when the group is straying or getting stuck, and they will also often have skills that will be able to help the group keep moving. A third role is information provider. Unlike other roles, this role will often be shared by most, or even hopefully all members within the group. This is because in an ideal sense, all members of the group will be contributing to discussions, providing their opinions, and helping present the group with different ideas or ways of thinking about things. Fourth, the gatekeeper helps manage conversations within the group. For these people, their goal is often to help all of the members contribute to the group in a meaningful way. They might be able to help in situations where one person is dominating the conversation of a group, and they may also have skills to help engage somebody who tends to be a more quiet participant within the group. Now, let's move on to the next category on the more positive side of things, which are the maintenance roles. These roles tend to alter, maintain, or otherwise strengthen things within the group. The people who take on these roles tend to be good at helping find compromises, being supportive, or helping set standards within the group. The first role we'll discuss within the maintenance roles is the Harmonizer. These people tend to help manage conflict within the group and tend to have skills that help smooth things over. Additionally, they tend to be good at being impartial, or at least appearing impartial during times of conflict. Additionally, these people are attuned to where conflict may arise and can be good at helping manage those situations before anything escalates too far. The second role in the maintenance roles is the interpreter. For people who take on this role, they are often good at helping find common ground within the group. Typically, for the interpreter, they're going to be good at helping people see that differences within the group are actually a strength and not something that needs to be feared. Third is the supporter role. For those in this role, they'll often be good at encouraging other group members and being a source of emotional support. While they might do this during a group meeting, most often people in this role are going to be operating outside of the spotlight of the group as a whole and more on a one-to-one basis. Fourth is the tension releaser. This person helps manage the overall frustration level of the group as a whole. For those in this role, they tend to be sensitive to the emotions of the group. Additionally, people who are in the tension reducer role typically are funny and can use this sense of humor to help in this role. For those in this role, they tend to be good at helping put people at ease. And they will be good at using their skills with humor to direct it at the group as a whole and not single out individuals. Next, let's move on to the categories that tend to be on the more negative side. But first, if you're enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please help me out by giving it a like and subscribing. When it comes to the negative roles that exist within groups, these can be put into 2 categories. The first of these are the self-centered roles. These are the roles that tend to put focus on an individual rather than the group's topic. Let's look at some of the self-centered roles. First, the Monopolizer is somebody who tends to overtake the conversation. Because they dominate the conversation, they prevent group members from contributing equally. Additionally, with Monopolizers, they aren't always on task, and they may have things that they're talking about excessively that aren't even related to the topic that the group is working on. A second self-centered role is the Self-Confessor. For people who are in this role, they may come to the group with drama and try to use the group as their own therapy. They may do things like oversharing or bringing up their own personal problems. And while it's totally appropriate for group members to talk about problems that they're experiencing, after all, that's part of what the group is helping with, for those in the Self-Confessor role, they are going to be oversharing and being too personal with their information in a way that's inappropriate and often not going to be on the topic of the group itself. A third role is the insecure compliment seeker. A person in this role is going to be seeking compliments from the group that are not related to any specific task or behavior that they've done. Instead, they're wanting to be reassured at a more personal and deep level. For example, they might be seeking for people to tell them how smart they are, to reassure them of how attractive they are, or to otherwise seek validation of this variety. Finally, the Joker is the last of the self-centered roles that we'll discuss. While the tension releaser is also funny and makes jokes, they do so in a manner that helps release tension from the group as a whole and to help the group function in a healthier way. For the Joker, on the other hand, they tend to make jokes out of insecurity. As a result, they tend to distract from the content of the group itself and bring the attention onto them. The second category in the negative roles are the unproductive roles. These roles tend to make progress for the group more difficult or may entirely prevent progress for the group. First, let's discuss the blocker. For those that are in this role, they may act in a way that blocks the group in an unintentional or an intentional way. For example, they might insist that the group has more information before they move on or before they make a decision. Another example of behavior from someone in the blocker role would be that they miss meetings, which could then entirely prevent the group from moving on or slow progress of the group. The social loafer is the second role we'll discuss. For those in this role, they only engage in the group when they are forced to. As a general rule, the larger the group is, the more likely that it is that someone in the group will emerge as the social loafer. Other things that those in the social loafer role may do are things such as waiting for somebody else to do tasks for the group, or they may even quit attending the group altogether. Third is the aggressor role. For those in this role, they can exhibit behaviors that range in intensity. On the lower end of the spectrum, they may do things such as being extremely assertive, whereas on the more extreme end of the spectrum, they may engage in bullying behaviors toward other group members. For those in the aggressor role, these behaviors may appear when they feel threatened, especially if it's an area of insecurity for them. The aggressor may put others down, they may engage in competitive-like behaviors that are not necessary, or they may share opinions in an outspoken manner. Finally is the doormat role. For group members in this role, they are overly submissive, and they may do things such as discussing how they are inadequate, they may quickly give in if they are put under any pressure, or give up if things feel too hard, and they may avoid conflict at all costs. I hope that you found this video helpful for understanding some of the more positive and negative roles that can emerge within groups. While you're here, make sure that you check out some of the other videos on my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.